Travis Wingoodsell. Oh man, yeah, I knew I wasn't going to be able to stay up. Went back to bed, and in my dreams I was a photographer, and was getting beautiful women coming in to be photographed, and then some guy appears just as my dad also appears, but my dad is silent, and this guy is telling me that there are too many photographers, and so he's trying to say, with too many photographers, therefore there's no reason to have you, right? As if it was logical, and I knew I was getting booted out, and the women didn't have anybody to photograph them now, and so they were leaving, and then the reason why my dad was in the dream as a symbol is because my dad is infamous for telling me that I will never become a professional baseball player, so why am I still playing the game? As a kid. I mean, with all the rich white couples who are committing crimes to get their kids a scholarship to a major university in college for sports. I mean, my hell, that was my family, my Mormon family upbringing. And so, yeah, I ignored that, continued to play baseball until my blindness got to the point where I was not responding quick enough to the ball hitting the bat. And so I went into basketball, and had not really cared about playing the game. Every year the coach had to say, "Hey, are you coming to practice? Are you going to play this year?" Alright, whatever. And at the final banquet ceremony, my senior year, the coach gave his speech about me, and ripped me a new one. Right there in front of my parents, who were there at the banquet also, as he informed everybody I had what it took to be put into the major leagues for basketball, the NBA, and I just wasted my time. Because he's put in others. We had a Laker come to our practice once, and so Dad, you listening to this? I wasted my life because of you. And so, yeah, he's now the symbol of wasted lives in my dreams. And so I'm woken up by a knock on the door, and and of course nobody was around to my knocking on the door, but yeah, that's how I woke up. Another knocking, and so no earthquake this time either. If you're unfamiliar with the Magna earthquake that happened not too long ago, I was woken up in my dream with knocking, and start doing a video, start talking about something else, and all of a sudden, it's an earthquake! But now, man, I had the dream job in my dreams, as I found the perfect woman, which I'm sure spawned the dream, because there she's doing videos, and so, yeah, but it was a digital camera. Well, it could have been a regular camera. Didn't open it up to dissect it, but oh well. I mean, yeah, vintage female wardrobes. Just couldn't have it more perfect for me. Way to go, Rachel. But yesterday, I also found another ex-Mormon site. It's two women who have left the church because the church, current church, says, oh yeah, Joseph Smith practiced polygamy, we confess. I've done videos on this, and I'm trying to let ex-Mormons and critics of the Mormon church, I'm trying to warn you guys and trying to let you understand you're trusting an organization you know to be corrupt, you know to be abusive, you know to have confessed to lying, and you're trusting them now? You just throw up your hands and go, oh my God, Q, just take me away. QAnon, take me away. It's just like, oh my God. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, guys, is exactly like QAnon. They lie, and they lie, and they lie, and they go to their deathbeds lying, and they turn on you for not believing their lie. That's the church. And it's just so frustrating. But, oh, yeah, I also got to include, I found a new toy. I had to wait to do this video because I can't run any other program on my computer until it's finished. So it finished the one project that I was testing. It seems to be doing good. It's got a quirky mannerism, but if it remains constant, I'll be fine with it. It's exactly what I was looking for. So, but yeah. So these ex-Mormon women had done a two-part video. I couldn't find the first part. YouTube was not offering the first part. Why is it not offering the first part? YouTube sucks. But after a number of videos that they've done, YouTube finally shows me one of their latest one that was now 3 days ago. That was part 2. Why aren't you showing me part 1? But I made a comment in the video because of the trap that they fell into, that the church set. They fell into it, and they did a video on it, and it was a great comedy skit. I was amused. But I still felt obligated to step in and try to figure out a non-threatening manner in which to add to their knowledge so that they can correct the misinformation that the church has given them about the misinformation. So I'm going to read to you my comment that I gave to them. I don't know how it's going to be received by them. They immediately didn't respond. But who does? I mean, even me, when I do a video in the morning, I hold all comments, and I may not check until the evening or the next day, depending on whether I do another video or not. But, so I don't know how theirs works. They seem to allow comments, because mine apparently got posted, but I didn't check offline. So I don't know. However, I will read my comment to you. I'll skip the first opening, the sweet-talking, smooth, suave, Rico Travis comment at the beginning to show I'm one of them. But I put, after that, check this talk by Oakes last October. I post the link. It's about Oakes saying, trust in the Lord about polygamy. And so they were making comments about Nelson not wanting to pursue polygamy even though he's a polygamist. It was part of their skit, but still, no, he's pushing for polygamy too, girls. Pay attention. Let me explain, and I get to it at the end. And so I put Oakes there at first. Let me share with you what I learned from LDS history research. 1. Joseph Smith Sr. refused to become a member, typo, of the New Israelites in Vermont because of their exclusive member polygamy. 2. Book of Mormon condemns polygamy 3 times. 1. Great and abominable. 2. Jacob. 3. King Noah. 3. Joseph's 1835 Doctrine and Covenants condemns polygamy 2 times. Chapter on monogamy, removed by Brigham Young in 1876, the year before he died. And I put the link to that. The year after his divorce that landed him in jail, and right after Section 131, which Brigham Young removed most of it and replaced it with something Joseph never said. And so I quote from the Joseph Smith papers. The whole Section 131, where is it in our scriptures that are canonized? It's not there. It's gone. Brigham took it out. And yes, it was all about monogamy gains you exaltation in the highest degree of the celestial kingdom, Mormons, not polygamy. But Brigham Young put in Section 132, all of a sudden now polygamy is the only way to get exaltation in the highest degree of the celestial kingdom, Mormons. I'm sure Joseph was just a con man. That's the only explanation, but we're not done yet. Let's see. 4. Oliver Cowdery was upset about Joseph buddying up with Sidney in disagreeing with the direction the church should go. Oliver is Joseph's cousin through Mother Lucy, who married a Whitmer to involve David and the Bros. 5. David Whitmer. David Whitmer was chased out by the Danites in 1838 and gave his address to all believers in Christ in 1887, after Brigham replaced with Section 132, and is responding to this claim. So he brings up the allegation of the 14-year-old girl. 6. John C. Bennett informed the Nauvoo Expositor, publishing that Joseph was polygamist, though Bennett was exed in 1842 for adultery, homosexuality, and, wait for it, polygamy. Joseph, though mayor of Nauvoo, was not present at the so-claimed meeting, and thus did not give the order, but rather the officiating councilman was the one who gave the order. 7. My third great aunt, Desdemona Fulmer, was sealed to Joseph in 1846, as my third great grandfather, John Solomon Fulmer, was bribed only one extra wife, and the next year the position of trustee of the church, so that they would go with Brigham into the desert of Mexico. You do understand that Brigham Young fled America. The West was Mexico. All the way up the West Coast, all the way up the West. Mexico. Brigham Young fled to Mexico. And now it became the Kingdom of Deseret, but Mormons don't say kingdom, they say state of Deseret. Forgetting that it was first a territory of Utah. But, no. Let's see, where did we leave off? Trustee of the church. 8. William Smith, younger brother of Joseph, joined James Strang's break-off church until James started polygamy, and then he was murdered by those who were in his members. William's involvement unknown. I did that video not too long ago about the succession crisis. It was a multi-series video. So pay close attention to all the testimonies of those accusing Joseph of polygamy, and pay specific attention to the dates of when they wrote about it. And I'm reminded now that the 14-year-old girl never got pregnant, and none of the other women who claimed their child was Joseph's, because DNA from the descents of those children showed no. We're seeing markers for the original husband that the wife had. So, yeah, that's also needing to be put in here that I didn't put in here. Let's see. And pay specific attention to the dates of when they wrote about it. It's from their journals, and it's when they were in Utah. Remember, Brigham secretly started it in 1846, Desdemona Fulmer, and officially practiced it in 1852. In his infamous Adam God revelation, which I laughed when I read the teachings of the President's Manuals for Priesthood Relief Society on Brigham, and they edited out that part of his talk as if he never said it. The claim, for example, of Joseph being ordered by an angel with a sword in 1832 to practice it openly or die instantly. I guess 12 years is instant for an angel. But all such claimed accounts were after 1852. Notice also who those women who accused Joseph joined after his murder. So these women, writing in their journals decades after it happened, who were they a part of? Which branch of the broken up church were they a part of? Emma? No. Sidney Rigdon? No. James Strang? No. Brigham! These women went with Brigham. Their lives were on the line. Brigham extorted them. Be married to me and have sex with me. If you're hot. If you're not, we'll give one of you to Solomon Spaulding, or not Solomon Spaulding. That's the author of the Book of Mormon. Give one to my third great grandfather. I come from the first wife, Mary, by the way, and that explains when I learned that he only had three. He had his first wife, Mary. Then he was given by Brigham Young as a bribe the second wife in 1846. So that he could remain with the church, and then was made trustee in the church the next year, trustee of the church. And because that's also, interesting. William Smith was patriarch of the church, but then Brigham said, no, you're not. You're patriarch. No, he was to the church, and Brigham Young demoted him, and then William left, and then apparently John Solomon Fulmer became the trustee of the church for financial matters. I don't think he replaced William right away. I'd have to go back and check on the patriarch lineage on that one. But, because Heber C. Kimball kidnapped Hiram's wife and kid, Joseph Fielding Smith Sr. And chaos and pandemonium. Anyway, let's get back to what I wrote. Let's see. You two seem too young. Oh, I'm so flattering. And to remember what life was like for women before the civil rights movement. But President Benson quoted President Kimball's miracle of forgiveness in his first general conference as president in April 1986 with the following. I post a link just in case they don't believe that I'm quoting accurately, because there's lots of dots to explain the specific example that I give. And I did the video on it. Nobody's coming to the video. It's awesome, guys. This is just unbelievable. Necking and petting. Not only do these improper relations often lead to fornication. Isn't necking and petting fornication in and of itself? Or is fornication some other definition? Apparently it's another definition. But again, what is necking and petting? But listen carefully again. Necking and petting, not only do these improper relations often lead to fornication, pregnancy, and abortions. All ugly sins. So I reiterated, narrowing it down, ... pregnancy, all caps, ... all caps, ugly sins, ... Pregnancy is an ugly sin, according to Spencer W. Kimball and Ezra Taft Benson. It's still in print. It's still in the video for Benson. They might have the one for Kimball. Depends on whether it was before 71. I think he came in after 71, didn't he? So yeah, we would have that video available on the church's website. But he's quoting from the Miracle of Forgiveness, so we still have that in print, and they probably have an audio book and who knows what else. Do you seriously believe Joseph Smith hated Emma so much to issue her a death threat if he couldn't have sex with 10 virgins? Question. And I quote from section 132, verse 54. And I command mine handmaid Emma Smith to abide and cleave unto my servant Joseph, and to none else. But if she will not abide this commandment, she shall be destroyed, saith the Lord. For I am the Lord thy God, and will destroy her, if she abide not in my law. What is the law? Law of 10 virgins. I mean, exactly. I mean, I use the voice, and you're like, dude, I don't watch those movies, so I don't understand why you're using that voice. But yeah, all of the demon movies are the ones where the demons are saying that kind of thing in the movie to the good guys. I will destroy you. That's exactly what's going on here. This is not Joseph's manner of speech. And yet, yeah, it's demonic, literally. And I did the videos on this. Oh, I almost forgot. Nelson, as you remember, changed the temple endowment, giving Eve more of a speaking role, doing away with wife's obedience to her husband and the removal of the women's veil. But no one recognized that the law of chastity was significantly changed to involve the law of God for marriage, which is, wait for it, Section 132 on polygamy. So, yep, Nelson's a part of the push to restore polygamy. And then I quote 132, verse 6. As pertaining to the new and everlasting covenant of marriage, was instituted for the fullness of my glory. Exaltation, Mormons, in the highest degree. And he that receiveth a fullness thereof must and shall abide the law. What law? Or he shall be damned, saith the Lord God. Polygamy with 10 virgins. So yeah, Joseph Smith did not write Section 132. So these little girls, as funny and hilarious as they were, holy hell, they are trusting the church when we know we shouldn't trust the church. And I know, rough stone rolling, but again, pay attention. When are the dates of the sources that are given? And you'll say, oh, oops, we trusted that, huh? Yeah, and you're followed who? Ooh, yeah, you're with Brigham? Yeah, okay, so you're just protecting your life so that you can have a house to live in and food to eat and be taken care of, because before the civil rights movement, women were property. And if you didn't get a man to take care of you, you went and worked in a brothel. Brigham Young had several brothels. The first was at the point of the mountain by the assassin. What was his name? Orrin Porter Rockwell. And then Brigham eventually was needing consolement with the divorces he was having. Apparently he had quite a few. I was surprised to see that. I thought it was just the one. But that one was the famous one that got him arrested. But he had others previous to that. And so, yeah, he needed consolement during those stressful times of divorce, and made a brothel on Regent Street, which is now, called Commerce Street back then. It's now Regent Street. And, yeah, he visited that frequently, as if all his wives were not enough. And apparently they weren't. So I can understand that, having been through the first marriage where she wouldn't put out and then blamed me when I wanted it. But, I mean, to have that many wives to reject you for sex and still remain your wives and not divorce you? Seriously? You know, even if you time the pregnancies, you should, well, I don't, you'd have to have 365 wives in order to, so maybe he did need the extra women. But it's apparent that Stevie Nicks is correct. Kings don't make good lovers. I need to put that as the theme song. I need to remember that. Stevie Nicks. Don't make good lovers. Alright. So yeah, we know Brigham Young is a beast. Do we honestly trust and believe him over the numerous facts? That's how I concluded. And so yeah, I also put in, place your bets as to what the either Nelson or Oaks, if Nelson dies by 2024 for the total solar eclipse, what they will be restoring with the rededication of the Salt Lake Temple. Place your bets now! 1,000,000 to 1 odds.